How's it going, everybody? It's Will, aka Tickno, and I know it's been a while, but I got some things on my mind and getting back into the vlogging. So, I just left another job um, that actually one of my roommates pretty much helped me get my foot in the door, and a really good company. Love the people there, but I feel like this was just the final, at least, yeah, just for me, eternally, externally, this was just like the final point for me to finally understand that entrepreneurship is really what I'm built for. And just working in the corporate space, you're always going to be working for other people because the market is going to be who you sell to. Every business needs customers. But for me, this was just like the final straw as far as working in this type of environment. Nothing against the corporate environment. It's just like, it's not me. And, I get this from Gary Vaynerchuk. He always talks about, knowing yourself, having that EQ of just being able to steer yourself in the right direction to go towards, your passions, your dreams, things like that. And so really finally, after I wasn't with this company very long, only a couple months, but really just like taking a step back and thinking, I just need to go all in on my business, because really it's just one. So I know it's been a while. I think the last thing I made like on the business end, because I know this channel is mostly music, but I'm pretty much going to change it now into like almost like a personal vlog of just what I'm doing. If I get famous, I get famous, whatever, but I really just want to make the goal of these videos to at least help two other people. Why not one person? Because I want to help at least two people so that they can like branch out. Just really getting this whole feeling off my chest. So, not really to go too much into an origin story, but I've had a lot of jobs. Like, I'm 26 right now, it's 2018, and I mean, my first job was lifeguarding, did that for a couple of years, but really, after graduating college, getting my undergrad, I've had a bunch of just jobs. The first one was consulting, paid really well, but kind of not immediately, but within the first month or two, I was like, I really want to do my own thing, but I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So, ended up getting fired from that job, and then went to bartending. I was really just looking for something for some income, and I figured while I bartended, I would, find something else. I still didn't know what, so I bartended at a place called Main Event. They're actually a pretty big corporation here in America. They have tons of stuff, tons of locations. Did bartending, waited tables, that kind of thing. I did like it. So before that, I took classes at a bartending school and then did bartending at events. So I live in Atlanta. I bartended, I think we had, we usually host the SEC championship, but it was like Florida versus Alabama, I think. But private events like that, Halloween, I went to some rich dude's house and bartended for all of his guests, which is actually kind of cool. So I really enjoyed it, but I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And then after that, I went to sales. I joined, I guess, an MLM, a multi-level marketing company, basically where, there was someone at the top and they would hire more people to kind of work under them, and then they would sell stuff and make them money. So I actually learned probably the most from that job. Sales, I think I kind of wish they had this in school, or at least when I was in school, kind of like a face-to-face sales training course, as into like how to sell to somebody right then and there. Which is kind of ironic because I do most of my sales now through Facebook, Instagram, digital marketing. But I do face-to-face sales. I was just at an event on the Saturday before Halloween, October 27th. And it was actually kind of cool because I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but the sales were very fun. It was, I don't want to say it was easy, but I do like face-to-face sales interaction, because the way I've been taught and the way I like to approach it is to not like manipulate, not convince people. The whole background of philosophy that I've been taught and that I apply is that people want to buy, they don't want to be sold. So whether it's a story or whether it's developing a relationship over a couple years, that's how I apply my sales methods. So anyway, sales job taught me a lot, but I was very miserable. I was working in like Costco's, Sam's Clubs, Kroger's, Walmart's, things like that, selling, just random stuff that I was just like, some of it's cool, but I always wanted to, like, that was the thing that attracted me to that company, is because they advertise, sales training and then own your own business in 1 to 2 years, that kind of thing. Which some people did it. But towards like the 8-month mark, I was just like, I can't do this. This is not for me. I am not about this life. So I quit that, and then I went into, I guess, pretty much going full hardcore into music as far as production. Bought a lot of equipment and just really lived on Fruity Loops, FL Studio, for the next month or two. And then I was like, I need some form of income, but I need to have it towards flexible, where I can, choose my own hours and just hustle while, making music at the same time. And so when I was, searching for stuff, I, came across Uber and Lyft. And it's interesting, a lot of the jobs that I ended up working, I originally said I'd never do that. Like I said, I'd never wait tables, or I'd, probably never bartend. Mostly the waiting the tables because I didn't think I would like it, and I didn't. But I was like, I'll never be an Uber driver. I'll never be a Lyft driver. And lo and behold, it's been over 2 years of working for both. So I started with them back in July of 2016. It's now November 2018, so over 2 years, obviously. But after that, it's just opened a bunch of doors as far as, controlling my income and really starting to taste what it's like to be your own boss. And, everything's on me. All my failures, all my successes. I don't have any bosses to complain. I mean, yeah, I can complain that Uber and Lyft don't pay us enough, but that I can quit and get another job. I don't really want to even talk about that. I think it's just like excuse mode, and you should stay away from it. But after a couple months of trying to do music and this at the same time, I just wasn't making, not even enough money. I just really wasn't getting to where I wanted to be music wise. And I was honestly starting to get to the point where my, hobby of making music, and, DJing just kind of became like a chore, and I wasn't enjoying it. And like the final straw was, where some of my friends, I went to DJ for them. They all said that I was awesome, and they never brought me back. I know part of it is because I couldn't pull, the people in there, and I kind of just stopped going, because I wanted to focus on other things. So after that, I really just went head over heels into e-commerce, first really Amazon, because that's what I was kind of used to. Like, I had been reselling textbooks on Amazon and eBay, really since college, just reselling them, because if you've ever bought a college textbook, like brand new, I don't recommend it. I recommend you buying used. But if you absolutely need a new one, gosh, they're not cheap. So I would, resell them to, either fellow students or just on the marketplace to whoever needs them, so I could get rid of it. Because a lot of the textbooks are like one and done for me. I just don't need a biology book for the rest of my life. So I got back into that in 2016. I actually took Ty Lopez's social media marketing course, which I think I've said in other videos, and then Tanner's Amazon course and things like that. Had some successes, but again, just wasn't that passionate. So moving forward now, I own a pop culture apparel brand. It's called Culture Keep. It's currently on Shopify, but we do, go to events. When I say we, me, I have like one contracted person on Upwork, and he does all my video editing. Shout out to Nicholas up in Canada. awesome stuff. But really, once I started doing that, I was just like, okay, this is it. I love talking about like really anything nerdy. Like I can't even really sit here and think about a specialty. Like I love anime, big, I mean, everybody knows about Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z. That's like the big one that I can talk about. But I love the minor ones that, some people have never heard of, like Elfen Lied or Berserk. I guess Berserk is kind of popular because it's like an 80s classic. But like gaming, huge video game nerd. I really didn't get started into it until the 360 came out. That was the first console I owned because my parents wouldn't let me get one. That's gonna be for like a whole nother thing. I make vlogs about that. But I can talk about that stuff all day, and most of my friends are into that type of thing. And, starting the brand to sell things like that, it just clicked. And so, a lot of it was, okay, well, if I can't create an apparel store, and when I say apparel, it's not just t-shirts. Like we sell backpacks, we sell keychains, lanyards, but still things that you wear. But I don't want you to think it's just like t-shirts, because I don't know, that's what I think about when I think of apparel stores or brands. But I mean, and it's been super challenging. It's probably the hardest thing that I've done to date, but I enjoy pretty much every second of it. I mean, of course, it's like everything else. There are times where I'm just like, oh, like updating my website, updating the yeah, that's just tedious work. But honestly, I'd rather be doing that than any of the other things that I've done in the past. And that's really why I'm making this video, is because like this last job, it's just finally clicked. It's just like, this is it. You need to go all in. Yes, you need to drive, and I'm also doing grocery delivery on the side to support this business. But this is what I want to do pretty much for the rest of my life. And it's not just, selling all these branded, apparel items. The easiest way I like to describe it is I'd like to create basically an IGN. So IGN, they started out as like a gaming community reporting thing, and now they pretty much encompass everything. They mostly focus on games, but like when new Marvel movies come out or new DC comics come out, they will touch on that. So that's exactly what I want to do. I want to do everything from, selling face-to-face, or have my brand sell face-to-face, going to conventions and, building brand awareness, building the brand, of course, making sales, making money. But I also want to, start with local talent, like hire local cosplayers to not only rep our merchandise, but interview them, get their stories, what got them into what they're doing. And, that's what I'm doing, is recording myself. So really just build like a huge, I don't even want to say nerdy and geeky, yeah, it needs that label so people can, picture it in their heads. But just put together a pop culture brand that is literally built by nerds and geeks and all that stuff, and helps everybody in that community. I mean, it'd be really cool to create a team of esports players on, I don't even care. I mean, Fortnite would be cool. I'm not even really that big on a Fortnite, but if we could put Smash Brothers, if we could put a Smash Bros Ultimate Squad together, that would be sick. But really just support, start in Atlanta with the local talent or wherever I move to. Probably going to stay in Atlanta for a couple years to build that. But just support people who are interested in that. Obviously we wouldn't be able to support everybody because, that'd be crazy. I'd like to, but anyway, I digress. But yeah, so really just getting this off my chest. Some people do things. I need to start getting back to the gym because the gym does help me just clear my mind and get back into focus mode. But making these videos does help, and I really think documenting these things, it's really cool. At the very least, it's for you to reflect on. After that, something to give down to your relatives, your kids, maybe their kids. Who knows what they're gonna have. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have virtual reality and augmented reality before I die. Definitely within the next 30-40 years, maybe at scale, we'll see. But then after that, when Culture Keep becomes something big, this is a thing, does it have the potential to become as big as Hot Topic or even Walmart? Of course it does. But I want to keep it to where it doesn't come to this big gargantuan Fortune 100 company that's just focused on the numbers. I'd rather lose money and make people happy than make money and, nothing against those other companies. I'm not going to focus on specific ones, but a lot of those companies overcharge the heck out of their merchandise. And, I understand it's a branded product. Like, people will pay for, if they love Deadpool, they will pay anything for Deadpool if they're about that life. But I'd rather, make a smaller margin and, provide a community that you can join and really just, geek out, nerd out with us. That's really what I want to do. But it's good to, like, talk about this. It's good to make these videos, hopefully inspire, 2 people. But hopefully those 2 people will watch this video and be like, you know what, I'm gonna start making videos. And I hope it makes a positive impact on your life and helps you become a better person. Alright, but yeah, that's the vlog entry for today. Really just getting that off my chest. And really I've been going like 14 hours every day on this company. I took vacation. I took most of August off. It's kind of a mistake. Okay, so I went to Jamaica, but then I also went to PAX West, which is kind of like pretty much work, but it was amazing. Spent a lot of money, but like it was my first gaming like event on that scale. Met a lot of huge people. Really got to see how the vending was set up. I'd love to be able to vend at that event, next year or even the year after, but eventually definitely gonna hit it. But yeah, this is really just, I'm gonna start really just documenting this hardcore and putting this all out on YouTube and hopefully inspire some of you guys. So that being said, if anybody wants to, reach out in the comments, whether you just got questions, you want to hold me accountable, you want to know more about the business, whatever, feel free to blow up the comment section. I'm really, really excited to see where this all goes. Hopefully in a year from now, I can look back on this video and be like, oh my gosh, finally, this was the day that you made the commitment and you went all in, and now look where you're at. Hopefully in a better spot than I am. But regardless, I'm happy with this move. I think you should be practical, which is another thing Gary Vaynerchuk, preaches. But, it's not like this was the only source of income and I quit. Really, I have 3 sources of income. Okay, 2. Uber, Lyft, I kind of put them in the one. And now Shipped, which is a grocery delivery service. So I definitely have that making me money. It's not like I just quit outright and I'm just starting bare bones. I really wouldn't recommend that unless you've got the financial backing or your expenses are really low, like if you still live with your parents or something, or, on those ends. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and leave your love or whatever in the comments. I'm going to be making a podcast for this. Right now I think it's going to be called The Life of Tickno, because, if you've watched previous videos, it's either me DJing or me talking about e-commerce, and I kind of just want it to now encompass my life. So maybe, I'll be 30 years from now, I'll be like the CEO of this gargantuan company, but I don't know. My goal is just to make people happy, really. And there are a billion ways to do it. I just want to do it this way, by building a geeky community. And I think it's going to do well, and I'm totally fine with, making, just 5 other people happy. If it can make me a living, what's a living? Like $50,000 a year would totally be fine. Revenue, really, enough to just keep me afloat. But if it could like make me or help me travel, meet all kinds of people, interview people, cosplayers, movie stars, what have you, that'd be super dope. So definitely not about the fame, definitely not about the fortune, all about the freedom. That's really what it comes down to for me, is the freedom. Oh no, it got a little blurry. Okay, so there it goes again. But yeah, alright, I'm done ranting. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned. I'm making a commitment to upload more frequently, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.